Moscow, May 28, 1962, 7 in the morning. Alexei Volkov stands in front of a cracked bathroom mirror. He's 32 years old, dark hair, lean face, eyes that have not slept well in weeks. He shaves with a straight razor, careful strokes. Then he hears it. 4 hard knocks on the apartment door. Everyone in Moscow knows that knock, not a neighbor, not a friend. The knock of the KGB. Volkov does not panic. He continues shaving, slow strokes, deliberate. He rinses the razor. Red swirls down the drain, a small nick on his jaw. He did not feel it. The adrenaline has already begun numbing everything. He opens the door. 4 men, dark suits, no uniforms. That is worse. Uniforms mean due process. These men exist outside the system. Alexei Volkov, you will come with us. Not a question, an instruction, the kind you do not refuse. May I get my coat? It is cold outside. No coat. We have a car downstairs. They do not want him grabbing anything. No emergency protocols. Just him, alone, unprepared. A black Volga sedan, engine running. He gets in the back. 2 men press against him from either side, so he cannot move, cannot escape. The car moves through Moscow morning, past people walking to work, mothers taking children to school, old men buying newspapers, normal people living normal lives. 18 minutes, no one speaks. The car turns onto Lubyanka Square, the yellow building. 5 stories of stone and suffering. Fewer people walk out than walk in. Side entrance, unmarked. Down a hallway with no windows, institutional green walls, concrete floor echoing with footsteps. An elevator descends 3 levels underground, where screams stay contained. A door opens, table, 2 chairs, 1 lamp swaying from the ceiling. The setup is so classic it would be funny if the consequences were not so final. Sit. Volkov sits, metal chair. Cold even through his clothes, uncomfortable by design. The men leave, the lock turns. A heavy sound, final. Volkov is alone. A heavy sound. This is psychological warfare. The silence, the waiting. The imagination does the work that interrogators would otherwise have to do. Most people break during this phase, before any questions, before any pain. But Volkov has been trained. CIA training. How to resist interrogation, how to control fear. He breathes slowly, counting heartbeats, 72 per minute, elevated but manageable. He thinks about the plan. Operation Golem. The CIA does not want him to spy in the traditional sense. They want him to be caught, deliberately. The CIA planted evidence, made it look like Volkov passed classified documents to American intelligence. The KGB found it, arrested him. Now they will make a decision, execute the traitor, or turn him, use him. The CIA believes they will use him. Volkov will accept their offer, become a double agent, working for the Soviets against the Americans, except in reality, he will still be working for the CIA, passing the KGB only what Washington wants them to see. A triple game, brilliant, terrifying, the kind of plan that can save lives or start wars. Execution begins now. 30 minutes pass. Then the door opens. A man enters. 50s. Gray hair combed back. Colonel's uniform. Clean, pressed. He sits down across from Volkov. Places a folder on the table without opening it. Just lets it sit there. His voice is quiet, almost gentle. That is more frightening than shouting. My name is Gromov, 2nd Chief Directorate. Counterintelligence. I know who you are, Alexei Volkov. I know where you work. I know about your mother, your father, everything. He pauses. 3 weeks ago, you met with an American diplomat. Bathroom of the Bolshoi Theater. 47 seconds. What did you discuss? I used the bathroom. I do not know what you are talking about. Gromov opens the folder, slides a photograph. Volkov at a urinal, another man beside him, hidden camera from above. First rule of interrogation, do not deny what can be proven. First rule of interrogation, do not. I may have spoken to someone. Small talk. I do not remember. Gromov slides more photographs. Same man, cafe, park, bookstore, Robert Hayes, cultural attaché. His real job is recruiting Soviet citizens to commit treason. You met with him 4 times in 3 weeks. I met with him because he seemed interested in Russian literature. Dostoevsky, Tolstoy. Gromov lights a cigarette, does not offer one to Volkov. The smoke drifts toward the ceiling. Literature. Let me tell you what I think. Hayes identified you as lonely, isolated, vulnerable. He befriended you, built trust, and then made an offer, money, freedom. Whatever weakness he found, he exploited it. And you said yes. That is not true. Another photograph. A dead drop. Package behind a loose brick. Date stamp. April 15th, 1962. Documents from your office. NATO analysis reports. Found them 18 hours after Hayes visited this location. This is treason. Punishable by death. Volkov's throat is dry. I do not know anything about that. Gromov stubs out his cigarette, stands, walks behind Volkov's chair, leans down to his ear, whispers, "You are not in a courtroom. You are not under arrest officially. If you die in this room tonight, your body will be cremated, your apartment cleaned out, your file marked deceased natural causes, and no one will ask questions, because no one will care." Gromov straightens, walks back to his chair, sits, lights another cigarette. "So I will ask one more time. What did Robert Hayes want from you?" This is the moment. The CIA prepared him for exactly this. Begin to break, show fear, show humanity. Not completely, not yet, just a crack. Volkov lets his voice fracture slightly. He wanted information about my work. What kind? General information, office structure, personnel, nothing classified. Did you give it to him? The longest pause of his life. Then one word. Yes. Gromov writes in his notebook, neat handwriting. Gromov writes in his notebook, the handwriting of someone who has documented thousands of confessions and knows exactly what to leave out. Why? Volkov looks down at the table. Money. 500 American dollars. My salary is not enough. I thought the information was not important. Where's the money now? Under the floorboards, beneath my bed. Gromov makes a note, stands, leaves without a word. The door closes. Volkov is alone again. Minor guilt, petty treason, the kind that can be forgiven or exploited. Now the KGB will search the apartment, find the money the CIA planted, confirm the intelligence was low level, and decide, kill him or use him. Time passes, he cannot measure it. The fluorescent lamp hums, maddeningly constant. Then the door opens again. Gromov returns, but he is not alone. 2 guards drag a woman between them, hands tied behind her back, blindfold over her eyes. Her face is bruised, blood crusted around her nose. They force her into the chair across from Volkov. Gromov removes the blindfold. Volkov's heart stops. His neighbor, the old woman from apartment 19, the one who always says good morning, the one who lives alone with her cat, the one who sometimes asks him to help carry groceries up the stairs. But that is not why his heart stops. It is her face. She looks like his mother. The same round cheeks, the same soft eyes, the same way she holds her hands in her lap when she is afraid. Volkov's mother died 7 years ago. He was not there. He was already deep in CIA work. He told himself it was necessary, that she would understand. She would not have understood. He knows that now. The woman blinks, finds Volkov, recognition, hope. Alexei, what is happening? Why am I here? Gromov places his hands on her shoulders. She flinches. This woman was seen speaking to you 3 days ago in the hallway of your building. What did you discuss? She said, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning" back. That was all. Gromov draws a Makarov pistol. That was all. Gromov places the barrel against the back of her head. Silent tears run down her bruised face. "We think you used her to pass messages to Hayes. We think she is part of your network." "No, she is just my neighbor. She knows nothing. She is innocent." "Please." Gromov cocks the hammer. The click is obscenely loud in the small room. "Tell me the truth. What did you really give to the Americans?" "She's going to die. Right here. Because she said good morning to the wrong person. Because she has his mother's face. Because the world is exactly this cruel." Volkov makes a decision the CIA never anticipated. He tells the truth, the whole truth, everything about David, the CIA recruitment, the plan, the controlled failure, all of it, fast, desperate. The words come like water from a broken dam. Years of training thrown away in 90 seconds, all to save one woman who happened to live next door, who happened to look like someone he failed years ago. When he finishes, the room is silent. Gromov removes the gun from her head, holsters it, nods to the guards. They drag the woman out. Gromov sits back down, looks at Volkov for a long time. Then he smiles. "Thank you for your honesty." He pulls a document from the folder, a transcript, multiple pages, detailed. "This is a complete record of your meeting with David, word for word. We have had listening devices in David's car for 6 months. We knew about Operation Golem before you did." Volkov stares. Everything compromised from the start. The woman. Was she really my neighbor? Gromov shakes his head. KGB officer, theater division, the blood and bruises, makeup. He says it simply, without cruelty, almost with exhaustion, as if he has performed this same theater so many times it no longer interests him. Everything was scripted, the entire interrogation, designed to find the one pressure point that would break you. And it worked. For just a moment, 1 second, Gromov's eyes go somewhere else. Out the window that does not exist. Eyes go somewhere else. Out the window, into some middle distance. It is not regret. It is not pride. It is something older. The look of a man who has done a thing so many times it has become neither right nor wrong. Just work. Then it passes. He closes the folder. The door opens. A new man enters. Older. Better suit. He radiates authority the way a furnace radiates heat. General Petrov, head of counterintelligence. He sits. Does not touch the folder. Already knows everything. Here is what happens next. You resume contact with David. Tell him you were briefly detained. Routine security check. Released. He will believe you because the CIA wants to believe their plan is working. You receive information from them. Pass it to us. We analyze it. Determine truth from deception. In return, you pass information we want them to have. Some true, some false. Petrov leans forward, eyes the color of frozen steel. The Americans think they control you. They do not. We control you. We have always controlled you. The only question is whether you are smart enough to survive in the position we have placed you. He stands, straightens his jacket. Welcome to the real KGB, Alexei Volkov. Your career begins now. Moscow, February 1963. 9 months in, Volkov sits in a parked car near Gorky Park, Snow falls, engine off, heater off. His breath makes small clouds. Across from him sits Sokolov, his KGB handler, 35. Sharp features, he smokes, never offers one to Volkov. 3 minutes of silence. Sokolov's technique: make the other person speak first. Volkov waits. He knows the technique. Finally, Sokolov speaks. The Americans gave you intelligence last week. Soviet submarine movements. Accurate, very accurate, too accurate. Why would the CIA give you genuine intelligence? They are building trust or testing you. I passed it to you. That proves my loyalty, or proves you are following their instructions. Volkov looks at him. What do you want me to say? That I am double-crossing you? Sokolov smiles, not with warmth. Sokolov smiles, just the mechanical movement of facial muscles. The problem with triple games is that everyone is lying to everyone. You are lying to the CIA about working for us. The CIA is lying to you about the intelligence they give you. We are lying to you about how much we trust you. And maybe you are lying to all of us about something else entirely. He pulls out a folder. 37 photographs, Soviet scientists, engineers, military officers. The CIA gave you these, target packages. We arrested 12, eliminated 7. The rest disappeared. But the intelligence we gathered from their homes did not match what the CIA told you about them. The scientist was not working on missile guidance. The engineer was not designing submarine hulls, which means either the CIA gave you false intelligence or you altered it. The CIA gave me disinformation deliberately to test if I would pass it without verifying. If I had corrected it, they would know I had Soviet access. The only way to protect the operation was to pass it exactly as given. Sokolov considers this. The logic is sound. He stubs out his cigarette, immediately lights another. Sokolov has a daughter. Volkov learned this by accident. A photograph fell from his wallet once during a meeting. A girl, maybe 8 years old. Sokolov picked it up without a word and put it away. He never mentioned her, never would. But the photograph was there. A real person hiding inside the machine. Right now, watching Sokolov light his third cigarette in 20 minutes, Volkov wonders if the daughter knows her father smokes this much. Wonders if she waits up for him. He stops himself. That kind of thinking is weakness. This is becoming very complicated, Alexei. It has always been complicated. Perhaps it is time to end the operation, extract you, give you a new identity, let you retire somewhere quiet. Volkov hears the threat. Retire in KGB language means unmarked grave. I am still useful. The CIA trusts me enough to feed me disinformation. CIA trusts me enough to feed me disinformation, which means I know what they want you to believe. I can give you truth by inverting their lies, or you are playing all of us, serving no one. If I were playing both sides, why would I still be here? Why not defect? Sokolov stands, gets out of the car, closes the door, turns up his collar against the snow. 2 weeks. Do not try to run. We are watching. We have always been watching. He disappears into Moscow gray. Volkov sits alone. The walls are closing in. Montage. Over the next 6 months, Volkov walks a tightrope. Intelligence flows in both directions, some true, some false, all calculated. He allows 8 CIA recruitment operations to succeed, people the KGB would identify eventually anyway. He prevents 9. He passes 23 KGB operations to the CIA. Time to maximize disruption while minimizing suspicion. Both services bleed. Neither knows why. Nobody connects the dots. His Swiss account reaches $200,000, enough to disappear, enough to start over. But he does not disappear, because something has gone wrong inside him. He is enjoying this, not the deaths, not the betrayals, but the game itself. The intellectual architecture of deception, the feeling of being the only person who knows the truth in a room full of liars. It is addictive, more compelling than survival, and that terrifies him, because addiction is a weakness. Weakness is death. But he cannot stop. New Year's Eve, December 1963. His apartment, alone, half a bottle of vodka. Outside, Moscow celebrates. He thinks about Thomas Brennan, a CIA officer, young, 29 years old, brown hair, a laugh that came too easily. Volkov chose him as a scapegoat 8 months ago, planted evidence, watched him be arrested from across the street. Brennan looked confused, then frightened. He kept looking around as they put him in the car, as if someone might explain the mistake. There was no mistake. Brennan is in prison now, sentenced to 12 years for crimes he did not commit. He has a wife. Volkov saw her only once at the trial in a newspaper photograph. She was holding their infant son, looking at the courtroom floor. Volkov pours another glass, drinks it. The vodka burns. He thought independence would feel like freedom. Instead, it feels like a room with no doors. He has no allies, no friends, no one who knows the truth. Midnight, fireworks over the Kremlin. He raises his glass to the empty room. Nobody wins the Cold War. They just play until everyone loses. The golem is triumphant, powerful, untouchable, and utterly, completely, irrevocably lost. Vienna, January 1964. A man walks through the revolving door of the Imperial Hotel. Expensive suit, Danish passport, Henrik Larsson, import-export. When the door of suite 407 closes, Alexei Volkov allows his hands to shake. The next morning, Café de Mel, gilded mirrors, chandeliers, the smell of coffee and fresh pastry. A man enters, 60, gray beard, university professor type, leather portfolio. You have the payment, 20,000 American dollars, cash. The man counts it, opens the portfolio. 3 complete identity packages, British, Canadian, Swedish, real documents, real identities transplanted onto Volkov's photograph. Volkov selects the Canadian, Peter Morrison, engineer from Toronto. They shake hands, transaction complete. He does not notice the watcher, sitting in a car across the street, camera recording everything. 2 weeks later, Moscow. David requests emergency meeting. Abandoned factory at the city's edge, no heat, 1 flashlight. David looks thin, exhausted. We need to talk about Vienna. Volkov's blood turns to ice. David lays photographs on the floor between them. The cafe entrance, the envelope, the documents changing hands. Why, Alexei? We had an arrangement. You were protected. Because I am tired. Tired of lying. Tired of serving masters who will kill me when I stop being useful. We cannot let you leave. You know too much. Continue under stricter supervision. You know too much. Or we expose you to the KGB. That's not a choice. That is execution with extra steps. 48 hours. Decide. David leaves. The lock turns. Not an abandoned factory. A CIA safe house. Steel door. Soundproofed walls. He has been here before. Lubyanka. Different building. Same feeling. Hours pass. Darkness. No food. No water. Then the door opens. Light. A figure. Sokolov. Standing in a CIA safe house. Unless... Sokolov smiles, sits on the concrete floor, lights a cigarette. The flame makes his face look like something carved. My name is not really Sokolov. I do not work for the KGB. I work for the CIA 8 years. I was assigned to run you, to make you believe you were working for the Soviets, to use you to spread disinformation inside the actual KGB. Everything collapses, every assumption, every belief, the 37 photographs. Sokolov nods. We needed the KGB to eliminate certain people, too traceable for us to do directly. So we used you. You passed them to me. I passed them to real KGB contacts. They did our work without knowing whose orders they were following. Why are you telling me this? Because the operation is over. You are a loose end. Work for us directly, or we kill you. Same false choice, same trap. But Volkov is no longer the same person who faced the first choice. There is a third option. No, there is not. Volkov stands, moves close, voice quiet, controlled. I have documentation, recordings, proof of everything, hidden in places you will never find, set to release automatically if I die or disappear, or fail to enter cancellation codes on schedule. You are bluffing. Test it. Kill me. See what happens. Sokolov stares, trying to read him. He cannot, because Volkov is not bluffing. Paranoia made him thorough. Sokolov backs toward the door. This is not over. Yes, it is. The door opens. He leaves. The lock clicks, softer this time. 10 minutes. Volkov tries the door. It opens. Moscow night, snow, freezing air that burns his lungs. He walks for hours. Freezing air that burns his lungs. Avoiding cameras, avoiding police, avoiding anywhere he might be remembered. A phone booth, number memorized, never written down. A female voice. Who is this? Code phrase. Emergency protocol. Be there in 1 hour. Come alone. 4th floor. 3 knocks. A woman opens the door. Middle-aged, hard face, eyes that have seen everything and believed none of it. You are the one Sokolov has been hunting. You are the golem. You know Sokolov. I know everyone. That is my job. I solve problems, make things disappear, including people. Get in before someone sees you. The apartment is sparse, nothing personal, a fortress. She closes the door. Multiple locks, faces him. You need to really disappear. Not fake documents. New face, new fingerprints, new everything. How much? Everything. Swiss accounts, all of it. In exchange, you become someone who never existed. How do I know you will not take the money and kill me? You do not. Trust that my reputation is worth more than your money. If I do not deliver, word spreads. I lose business. How long do I have to decide? She checks her watch. 30 seconds. After that, the decision is made for you. CIA kill team arrives in 10 minutes. I know because I told them where you would be. Volkov does not need 30 seconds. Do it. Make me disappear. Smart choice. Follow me. Montevideo, Uruguay, March 1994, 27 years later. An old man sits at a cafe on the Rambla. Atlantic Ocean before him. Gray water, gray sky, seagulls, waves, 70 years old, white hair, hands that shake lifting his coffee cup. His name is Carlos Mendoza, retired, lives alone 3 blocks from the beach, no family, no friends. 3 days ago, a letter arrived, no return address, 8 words typed on plain paper. I know who you are. I am coming. Someone found him. After 27 years, after surgery, after complete erasure, he is too tired to run, so he waits. A man approaches, 50, gray suit, American. Hello, Alexei. My name is James, CIA. Hello, Alexei. My name is James. 15 years looking for you. Why? Disinformation that poisoned intelligence systems for decades. We need to understand what was true, what was false. The old man almost laughs. 27 years and they still cannot untangle it. I do not remember. I am old. Men like you remember everything. The guilt keeps the memories fresh. An apartment 3 blocks away, table, chairs, recording equipment, red light blinks on. State your real name. The old man thinks about the question. After so many identities, does he have one? Alexei Volkov, born 1930, Moscow. Now tell me everything. He tells it all. The recruitment, the controlled failure, the triple game, the 37 photographs, Thomas Brennan. The neighbor who looked like his mother, who was not a neighbor at all, but whose face he still sees when he closes his eyes because she looked enough like the real woman to finish what the real woman started. Hours pass. His voice goes hoarse. He keeps talking. Because this is confession, not intelligence work. Truth after decades of lies. James stops the recording, sits back. Jesus Christ, we are still finding failures from disinformation you planted 30 years ago. He pauses. Do you regret it? Yes. All of it. Every decision. James nods. There's one more thing. Thomas Brennan, the man you framed. He killed himself. 6 months after Hamburg, sleeping pills, left a note. The last fragile piece of something breaks inside. His wife was in that photograph. She was holding their son. James watches him, says nothing. You asked what we could give you. Nothing. You live until your body stops. And you remember. Every face, every death. That is justice. James leaves. The lock turns. The old man sits in the empty apartment. Has always been a prisoner. Will die one. 6 months later, James unlocks the door. You're no longer useful. We are releasing you. He leaves it open, walks away. The old man goes home, sits at his kitchen table. Old hands, shaking hands. Old hands. He reaches into the closet, a box. Inside, a gun. Brown and high power. Same gun from Hamburg, never fired. He places it on the table, stares at it, picks it up. Cold steel. Thinks about Brennan, about the warehouse, about mercy. Puts it to his head, finger on the trigger. He cannot pull it. Too broken, too tired. Even death requires will he no longer has. The gun stays on the table. Every day, an option, an exit he lacks the courage to take. Months become years. Memory fails. He forgets his name sometimes, forgets the year, but never forgets the faces. They stay sharp forever. One morning he does not wake up. Heart attack, peaceful, in sleep. Neighbors find him 3 days later. Police investigate. No identification, no records, no family. Fingerprints altered, no matches, buried in a pauper's grave, unmarked, unknown. Washington, D.C. CIA headquarters, 2010. A young analyst searches historical intelligence failures. She finds a pattern. Dozens of operations, different theaters, different objectives, all failed, all traced to the same source. Codename, Golem. She requests access to the file. Denied, automatically, immediately. She tries again. Different channels, different authorization levels. Denied, denied, denied. A message arrives from someone senior, someone whose name she does not recognize. File classified, level 5. Reason, ongoing investigation. Ongoing investigation for operations from 50 years ago. She flags it, moves on to other work, never learns the truth. Because some secrets are too important to reveal. Some lies too useful to correct. Some damage too expensive to acknowledge. The Golem won, not because he was smart, not because he was skilled, but because the systems he poisoned cannot afford to admit they were poisoned. His victory lives in their silence. His immortality lives in their denial. His legacy is the choice they make every year to keep the file closed. The best lies are the ones too costly to expose. The best lies are the ones too... Alexei Volkov committed the perfect crime, and his punishment was that nobody would ever know. The golem is dead, but the world the golem made lives on, forever.